Hello students, welcome back. Let us start with the easiest chapter of 10th standard, that is probability. You have studied this chapter in 9th standard also. So most of the things you are already knowing regarding this chapter. You are already familiar with the formula for finding the probability. The formula for finding probability of any event E, that is P of E, is equal to number of outcomes favorable to event E divided by number of all possible outcomes of the experiment. Elementary event. An event having only one outcome of an experiment is called an elementary event or primary event, and the sum of probabilities of all elementary events of an experiment is 1. The next is certain event. What is a certain event? An event having 100% probability is called a certain event. For example, sun rises in east is a certain event. There is no other possibility or probability. So it is a certain event, and the probability of a certain event is 1. A certain event is an event which always occurs. For example, the event of getting a natural number smaller than 7 in an experiment of throwing a balanced die in a certain event. If we are knowing that the probability of getting the outcomes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 when we are throwing a die. So all these numbers are natural numbers and they are smaller than 7. So this event is a certain event, and probability of a certain event is always 1. This can be asked in short answers. Next is impossible event. An impossible event is an event which never occurs. For example, event of sun rising in north, which is never possible. So probability of such event is 0. Probability of an impossible event is always 0. For example, the event of getting a number greater than 6 in an experiment of throwing a balanced die is an impossible event because the all possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which are smaller than or equal to 6. So this event is impossible event and its probability is always 0. So we can say that for probability of any event E, 0 smaller than or equal to probability of event E smaller than or equal to 1 always holds true, which means that probability of any event will never be less than 0 and it will never be greater than 1. It will always lie between 0 and 1. Next is complementary event. The event not event A is called complementary event of A and it is denoted by A dash or A bar. The sum of probabilities of any event A and its complementary event A bar is always 1. Here, event A and event A bar are complementary events of each other. For example, if we consider the experiment of tossing a coin, and let A be the event of getting heads. So the event of not getting heads is called complementary event of A, and the sum of probability of both these events is always 1. That is, P of A plus P of A bar is 1, or P of A bar is equal to 1 minus P of A. Now let us move to the examples. First, two coins are tossed simultaneously. What is the probability of getting one head, at least one head, at most one head, no head, and two heads? So first of all, here two coins are tossed. So we need to find possible outcomes. When two coins are tossed, possible outcomes are in both heads can come, in first one head, second one tail, in second one head, first one tail, or in both tail may come. So the outcomes are HH, HT, TH and TT. First one is probability of getting one head. So here you can see that from these four outcomes there are two outcomes in which one H is there. So out of 4 there are 2 possible outcomes. So the probability is 2 divided by total number of outcomes, that is 4. So first one is probability of getting one heads is 2 by 4, that is equal to 1 by 2. Next is at least one head. At least one head means there should be 1 H. More than 1 H is considered, but less than 1 H is not considered. Now here in these 4 outcomes, you can see that there is one outcome TT in which H is not there. So the total outcomes, favorable outcomes, are 3: HH, HT and TH. So the probability of at least one head is 3 divided by total outcomes, that is 4. Now next one is at most one head. At most one head means there should not be more than one head. More than one H should not be there. If less than one H is there, it is considered. So here in these 4 outcomes, you can see that in HH there are 2 H, so it won't be considered, and other 3 outcomes are considered. So the probability of at most one head is 3 by 4. Next is no head, means H should not be there in the outcomes. So you can see there is only one outcome TT in which H is not there. So probability of having no head is 1 divided by total outcomes, that is 4. So it is equal to 1 by 4. Next is probability of having 2 heads. So here only one outcome is there in which 2 heads are there, HH. So the probability of having 2 heads is 1 by 4. Let us consider another example. A fair balanced die is thrown. What is the probability of getting an even number, an odd number, a number multiple of 3, a prime number and a number greater than 6? So here the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So total outcomes are 6. First is probability of getting an even number. Here the even numbers, from this 6, the even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So there are 3 even numbers. So the probability of having an even number is 3 divided by total outcomes, that is 6. That is 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. Another one, probability of having an odd number. From this 6 outcomes, 1, 3 and 5 are odd numbers. So the probability of getting an odd number is 3 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 2. Next is probability of having a multiple of 3. Here you can see that 2 numbers are there which are multiples of 3, that is 3 and 6. So the probability of getting a number which is a multiple of 3 is 2 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 3. Next is probability of having a number which is a prime number. So here from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 2, 3 and 5, that is 3 numbers are prime numbers. So the probability of having a prime number is 3 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 2. Last one is a probability of getting a number greater than 6. Now here you can see that the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which are smaller than 6. So there is no number which is greater than 6. So it is an impossible event, and we know that probability of impossible event is always 0. Let us consider another example. A bag contains 7 red balls and 6 green balls. A ball is drawn at random from a bag. What is the probability of getting a red ball, a green ball, a black ball and a colored ball? Now, first of all, we need to find how many balls are there in a bag. So 7 red balls plus 6 green balls, that is total number of balls in a bag is 13. Now, first one is having a red ball. Now here we can see that from this 13 red balls there are 7 red balls. So the probability of getting a red ball is 7 divided by 13. That is 7 by 13. Next is a green ball. Here we can see that from total 13 balls there are 6 green balls. So the probability of getting a green ball is 6 by 13. Similarly, next is probability of getting a black ball. Now from this total number of balls, 13 balls in a bag, there is no ball which is of black colored. So it is an impossible event, and its probability is 0 by 13, that is equal to 0. Now next is probability of having a colored ball. Total number of balls are 13, from which 7 are red and 6 are green colored. So all the balls are colored balls. So the probability is 13 by 13, that is equal to 1. We will solve other examples in next lecture.